Oh gosh, I'm gonna feel really old making this video. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. Today's video is sponsored by Built Bar, and we'll be reviewing a Harper's Bazaar food diaries for Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker. Oh man, how many embarrassingly angsty teenage memories is this gonna hash up? But first, let me tell you about my sponsor, Built Bar. I can't stop, won't stop eating these bars, so you're just gonna have to keep listening to me wax poetic about them. They're just so good. But they're probably one of the only protein bars I've ever tried that actually tastes really good. And of course, they're loaded with protein. So today's flavor for my testing pleasure is salted caramel. Today's a salted caramel day. Yeah, busting in. Go, 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 go Built Bar, go Built Bar. You're salty, you're sweet, you're so good to eat. So this has 17 grams of protein and they are lower sugar bars. So if you're using them as a post-workout, I would suggest pairing them with some fruit or oats or toast to get that protein carb ratio in. Personally, I love them before bed as like a bedtime snack, and I warm them up in the microwave for like 10 seconds. Put a little ice cream on top. So good. But if you want to give them a try, check out my link in the description and use my promo code AbbeySharp15 to get 15% off of your order. And of course, you can pause the screen or look at my description for a general disclaimer, including a trigger warning, as we will be, of course, discussing macros and calories, etc. So feel free to skip this video if it's not supportive to your journey. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring that little bell so that you never miss out on an episode. So, my millennial friends likely know Travis Barker from the 90s, 2000s rock band, Blink-182. You know, they sang All the Small Things, which I still know every word to. You guys know the song, right? Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me, na 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 na. That was fun. Anyways, what I didn't know was that this guy is such a badass that he escaped a terrifying plane crash in 2008, and as of January, he's also dating Kourtney Kardashian, so my Gen Zers probably know him by that. But anyway, the guy now lives in LA, and in typical LA fashion, is really into wellness culture. He's also vegan, FYI, so let's take a look at what he eats in a day.
I love coffee, I love matcha. Also, another favorite thing to do is put a rice tincture from Barker Wellness in those drinks. I like my coffee black. I'll either drink espressos or a vanilla latte with oat milk. As far as my matcha, I love it with oat or coconut milk. I'll add a little bit of maple syrup, sometimes a shot of espresso if I'm really tired.
This guy doesn't mess around with his morning drink. And you guys know the drill. You get your coffee or tea, however you like it. This girl won't say but in case you are wondering what this whole tincture is, as the name might imply, Travis's self-branded vegan line of herbal-infused THC-free broad-spectrum CBD products. Now, I'm not an expert on CBD products as it's currently outside the scope of registered dietitians to advise on this, though dietitians are lobbying for this to change, so who knows? Maybe I'll become an expert soon. But it does look like Barker's Rise product is a mixture of CBD, CGB, which is another cannabinoid, and coffee Arabica seed oil, which is described as a natural source of energy. Now, this seed oil is extracted by cold pressing green coffee beans to yield a mixture that is rich in antioxidants like vitamin E. All of the research we have on this has been done on topical formulations for skin health, and they have found some promising results with improvements in wrinkles, firmness, and redness. But how this translates to drinking it in your coffee is admittedly completely unclear.
I don't know what the that was.
But anyways, like you said, you do your coffee routine your way, and it makes sense that this guy wants to, of course, plug his new brand. Let's take a look at breakfast.
If I'm going to eat breakfast, my favorite breakfast in the world is chicken and waffles from Crossroads. It's vegan, it's delicious.
That does look delicious. Chicken and waffles is one of my all-time favorite brunch meals, so I am intrigued by the vegan take. Now, obviously, not every meal needs to be super well balanced, and let's be real, a breakfast made up of waffles and any kind of fried food isn't designed to be the most nutrient-dense option, even if it is vegan, and that is 100% okay. I actually kind of appreciate it when I see ethical vegans choose fun foods, because I think it's an important reminder for folks with dietary restrictions that plant-based foods can also be emotionally satisfying and shouldn't necessarily trigger scarcity mentality.
My favorite meal to cook would be the Impossible sausage patties. Mix that with the Follow Your Heart egg, an English muffin, maybe some fruit on the side.
Okay, so this on the other hand ticks both boxes for me pretty well, which is an inherently balanced meal that also feels really fun and delish. So we've got protein and fat in the vegan sausages and egg, plus carbs and fiber in the English muffin and fruit. Now, I get asked a lot about whether or not I think these faux vegan products are actually healthy. And my answer is, well, honestly, it depends how you define healthy. But let's talk about the Impossible Foods sausage first. If you look at all of the ingredients, it's largely made up of water, soy protein, sunflower oil, and coconut oil, with some small amounts of some stabilizers and flavors in there. If we were to compare this patty to a similar sized McDonald's sausage patty, you'd be looking at almost half the calories in the vegan version with significantly less saturated fat and a comparable amount of sodium and protein. But calories aren't everything, and I do know that a lot of people may worry about the ingredients in these faux meat products, namely the addition of sunflower oil. Now, how concerning sunflower oil is really comes down to how much of it you consume, your overall diet, and also what type of sunflower oil we're even talking about. Some varieties are higher in monounsaturated fats, while others, which are more common, tend to be higher in omega-6 polyunsaturated fats, and it's known that polyunsaturated fats consumed in excess may have some pro-inflammatory effects in the body. But the bigger concern is not just omega-6s in isolation, but rather the omega-3 to 6 ratio of your overall diet. So it's ideal to consume enough omega-3s in your diet to balance out your intake of those omega-6s. And my take on this is that if you're consuming a varied diet and enjoying these processed foods in moderation, along with more unprocessed plant-based options like beans, legumes, nuts, and seeds, particularly those that are rich in omega-3 fats like walnuts, flax, hemp, and chia, it's not really something we need to worry about. As for the egg, the faux egg contains more than twice the calories for a comparable volume with the real egg, but it also has twice the protein and it also has no saturated fat. The faux egg does contain some gums or stabilizers like cellulose or carrageenan, which I think are fine in moderation, but these can be triggering for some folks with digestive issues. So again, which one of these foods are healthier really depends on your unique goals and triggers. And ultimately, I'm just really glad that we have options like this for folks with dietary restrictions who still want to enjoy a wide variety of food experiences and meals.
Erewhon, I love their meatless beef and broccoli. I usually have that with like a side of green beans or broccoli or rice or Brussels sprouts. That cracks, that's one of my favorite. And then I love their turmeric smoothie.
Okay, is it just me or does every LA-based celebrity featured on Food Diaries mention Erewhon like at least once? So this is definitely a place I gotta hit up. Also, this meatless beef stir fry looks like an awesome option. We're getting lots of green veggies and some protein and fat in the faux beef, plus some carbs if he opts for the side of rice. I will just mention that I'm going to assume all three of the meals that he's mentioned so far utilize processed soy-based protein, which again, totally fine in moderation, but I do like to see more variety whenever we can. So sneaking in some beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, hemp, quinoa, etc. will help ensure he's getting a nice variety of amino acids, as well as some less processed options as well. Also, I feel like turmeric lattes were really 2019. So I don't know, are turmeric smoothies the upgraded 2021 version? Please, Gen Zers, give me the facts here. Update me. So Travis's version contains beet juice, carrot juice, orange juice, turmeric, obviously, plus camu, which is a sour berry rich in vitamin C. Now, I don't know about specific quantities in this smoothie, but what we do know is that only 50 grams of camu berries provides 16 times your daily requirement for vitamin C. And even without the addition of the camu, we're already getting plenty of vitamin C from the orange and carrot and beet juice in the smoothie, plus the broccoli or Brussels sprouts or veggies from his meal. In fact, just a single cup of orange juice alone provides twice your needs of vitamin C for the day. I mean, it's always great to focus on getting enough vitamin C if you're vegetarian or vegan specifically to help improve the absorption of that non-heme iron. But in Travis's case, the camu is probably just a little bougie overkill. But hey, if he likes the taste, or if he just likes saying the name like I do, like camu, sounds like a cute little pet name. And also I honestly just assume he can afford the luxurious upgrade, then hey, I say, why not? That's the LA way, I guess.
I try my best to avoid gluten. It doesn't make me feel the best.
I mean, tell me you're dating a Kardashian without telling me you're dating a Kardashian. No, but seriously, whether or not Travis avoids gluten because he's dating the gluten-free queen herself, if it doesn't make him feel good, then it's definitely best to limit or avoid it. And being based in LA, I imagine gluten-free products are very easy to come by since it feels like, I don't know, every Californian and their grandma has sworn off gluten even when they don't know what gluten is.
But what is gluten?
Oh, this is pretty sad because I don't know.
But here's a little secret from your not so trendy dietitian from the north. Unless you have celiac or diagnosed non-celiac gluten intolerance, a gluten-free diet is probably actually less healthy for you. A lot of gluten-free foods are lower in fiber, higher in additives, sugar, and stabilizers, and are ultimately more refined. And since Travis is also vegan, if he's going to also eliminate a lot of beneficial grains, I would just want to be on the lookout to ensure he's meeting his needs for things like vitamin B12 and iron. So when looking for gluten-free alternatives, choose one that is fortified whenever possible. Also choose one that's higher in fiber and lower in sugar, and aim to fill those nutrient gaps with other whole food sources of these nutrients like tofu, soy milk, nuts, seeds, legumes, and dark leafy greens.
Yes, I love snacks throughout the day. Probably my favorite bar is a bar called Get Mine Right. Their peanut butter bar is amazing. I also like almonds, nuts, pistachios, bananas with almond butter, or sometimes an avocado smoothie with dates and plant-based protein.
Lots of great snack ideas here, all of which are like loaded with my hunger crushing combination. So we've got carbs, fiber, protein, and fat in the banana nut butter combo. Also, nuts straight up are always a satisfying snack because they also pack all three. But if you want to like up the satisfaction factor there, he could throw in a little carbs with some fresh or dried fruit. Now, I feel like the avocado smoothie is definitely Courtney inspired since she is the avocado smoothie queen, but it also just really does sound like a balanced snack with the fat and the fiber from the avocado, carbs in the dates, and protein in the protein powder. Now, I also looked up the Get Mind Right peanut butter bar, which he mentioned, which seems to follow theme with Travis's appreciation for functional nutrition. Nutrition-wise, I love that the bar has an impressive 11 grams of protein and 7 grams of fiber with only 4 grams of added sugar. Plus, it's got lots of healthy fats in there since peanuts are the first ingredient on the ingredient list. But what makes this bar unique is its Happy Brain Blend, which combines MCT oil, adaptogens and nootropics like ashwagandha, mushrooms, and ginseng. Now, admittedly, the research in this area is pretty spotty as to whether or not these herbs and oils do what they say they do. So for example, there is some promising research that ashwagandha may help to reduce stress, which we'll discuss later on. But there is also a lack of convincing evidence that ginseng has any mood enhancing effects. As for the MCT oil, research suggests that it may improve brain function, particularly in individuals with epilepsy, Alzheimer's, and autism. However, it's unclear if these benefits are from a combination of MCT oil and following a ketogenic diet, or if they come from the use of MCT oil alone. As for the mushrooms, there is some research to show that they may help to boost energy levels and exercise performance. However, research on humans is quite limited, and there's currently no consensus on a safe or effective dosage. The main concern with this bar is that we don't actually know how much of these functional ingredients you're getting. So like a mushroom could cough on the bar, and we could theoretically add the fancy ingredient to the ingredient list. But again, the nutrition here does look good in the bar, and hey, if they taste as good as they sound, I mean, I am down for anything peanut butter related, then they are A-okay by me.
After a workout, I like to make a protein shake. It usually has plant-based protein powder, a banana, some type of milk, either almond, coconut milk, flaxseed oil, flaxseed, cinnamon, dates. That's pretty much like my go-to. And then I'll put the recovery tincture from Barker Wellness in it as well.
All right, so as a post-workout smoothie, this does look pretty good for a recreational gym warrior. So we've got protein in the protein powder for muscle protein synthesis, fast-acting carbs in the banana and dates to help replenish the glycogen, plus some healthy fats and fiber in the flax. Now, depending on how much flax oil is in there, I would say that hardcore fitness enthusiasts might say that the flax oil plus the flax seeds might be overkill for post-workout. I mean, some folks find that too much fat after workout slows down their recovery, but I'm also just gonna assume that he's not like dumping it in. So it's probably okay. Now, Travis also, of course, has to plug his tincture again. This one, like his morning blend, also contains CBD and CGB. However, this blend is unique in that it also contains ashwagandha extract for alleged stress reduction, along with red reishi mushroom extract for immune support. Now, as I alluded to a moment ago, there is some promising research showing that ashwagandha may help to reduce stress and anxiety. So one study found that 69% of study participants with chronic stress reported a reduction in anxiety and insomnia when supplementing with ashwagandha. Similarly, another study found that 88% of participants reported a reduction in stress. Now, as for the reishi mushrooms, the research is admittedly mixed as to whether or not it really has any impact on immune health. And it's also unclear if the mushrooms are more effective in those already sick versus in healthy individuals. I also want to quickly point out that this tincture also contains MCT oil and hemp seed oil, which also adds an additional source of fat to the protein shake, which, as I said earlier, may not be so advantageous for a post-workout snack.
My favorite food city is Los Angeles. We are spoiled with so many great options for food, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Okay, so I do agree, LA is a great food city, but is it the best food city? Nope, definitely not. I mean, ooh. Sorry, LA friends, it's just not. Argue with me, bet in the comments. I know I'm right about this. Maybe it's great if you have like a bunch of food restrictions because, I don't know, I'm sure there's no shortage of overpriced vegan, keto, gluten-free juice bars that you can frequent in LA. But of all the cities that I've traveled to eat, I would say LA is probably one of the least inspired and most overpriced. And FYI, I'm not trolling LA. I'm so not anti-LA. I actually love LA. I got married in Malibu, and all of California has a really important, special place in my heart. And I would live there in a heartbeat if it was easier to move across borders. But for the record, San Fran is a much better food city in California, as are like a dozen other American cities if we are just talking the US. I think when you go outside the LA bubble, you can see that plain and clear.
My typical dinner is matsuhisa or nobu vegan sushi. I also really love all the gluten-free vegan pasta options at Crossroads Kitchen. I'm more than likely ordering the bolognese or the pizza, also calamari, Caesar salad, or artichoke oysters are some of my favorites.
Okay, so I know I just trolled LA hard, but I really do appreciate creativity in the kitchen. And when a chef is finding fun ways to make vegan calamari and oysters look and taste like real seafood, yeah. I gotta give them major props. I also appreciate that despite having dietary restrictions, which seem potentially both possibly health and ethics related, Travis still finds ways to enjoy the food that he craves. This is generally a really good sign that your intentions are in the right place and that your diet restrictions are not forcing you into scarcity mentality. We love to see it, even if it means the guy has to name drop all the celebrity hotspots in LA.
Some LA.
I think that's just the LA way.
I actually love desserts. One of my favorite desserts is the sundae from Crossroads Kitchen. Another one of my favorites is the shaved ice from Matsuhisa. I also love the coconut sorbet from Nobu and Matsuhisa.
Oh man, yes to all of the above. I mean, dinner for me is just not quite complete at a restaurant without ice cream for dessert. And I'm loving all of these vegan options. But also, are these actually the only 3 restaurants the guy goes to? I mean, for living in such a metropolitan city with such vast food offerings, you'd think he would venture outside of his celebrity-infested Nobu dining bubble and, I don't know, grab an authentic taco or something. Oh, Travis. I know I'm trolling him hard, but this interview is just so LA, I can't help myself.
The last thing I usually put in my body before I go to sleep is the Barker Wellness Sleep Tincture. It allows me to have a full night's rest. I wake up feeling refreshed. It's a game changer.
Another tincture. Anyways, Travis finishes the night with another CBD product, and this one for sleep fittingly also contains melatonin and valerian root extract. So super quickly, melatonin is the sleep hormone that our bodies naturally produce to control our sleep-wake cycle. And while we do produce it naturally, like I said, research suggests that supplementing does have some benefits for folks struggling with sleep. Okay, so for example, one small study showed that when supplementing with melatonin 2 hours before bed, individuals with insomnia were able to fall asleep faster and enjoy a better quality sleep. Similarly, a large meta-analysis looking at individuals with sleep disorders also demonstrated positive effects of melatonin supplementation. So if you watch my bedtime routine video, you know that I'm a fan of it myself. However, it's important to note that it can interact with some medications like antidepressants and blood pressure medication, and is not recommended for certain populations like pregnant women or kids. So of course, always speak to your doctor before starting a supplement like this. As for the valerian root, research has likewise shown that it may help to reduce the amount of time it takes to fall asleep, while also improving sleep quality. One study even found that participants were able to achieve deep sleep 36% faster. However, it's important to note that CBD products in general are not well regulated in the United States, as they are not FDA approved. So even though they are technically legal at the federal level, CBD-derived products may still be illegal under some state laws, and non-prescription CBD products may be inaccurately labeled in terms of their quality, quantity, and alleged benefits. Canada, on the other hand, does regulate CBD under the Cannabis Act and implements a strict regulatory system over its production and distribution, making it more accessible and safe for the general public. I also wasn't able to find any information on the Barker website about third-party testing, so I'm not saying that these products are dangerous, but I mean, I'm not saying they're not. So what are my overall thoughts on Travis Barker's diet? Well, I would say we've had a good, fair game of wellness culture BS bingo, haven't we? Bingo! I mean, it's always a bit of a home run with LA-based celebs, but throw in a Kardashian love affair, and you are bound to get some grade A woo. Here we've got tinctures, superfoods, nootropics, adaptogens, smoothies, and a lot of celebrity restaurant name dropping. But really, what do we expect from an ex-rocker turned Kardashian beau? What I do really appreciate is that despite his dietary restrictions, his intention with his diet seems to be in a good place. He's still allowing himself a wide range of higher fat, higher carb comfort foods, so his diet is not lacking in the fun factor or calories, and I'm not hearing a lot of moralizing language around food. Now, from a nutrition perspective, I think that Travis seems to be getting enough fiber, fat, carbs, and protein. My only suggestion would be to try to switch up the source of protein whenever he can. So rather than relying on ultra-processed soy meats and powders all the time, I would encourage trying to work in more whole food sources of protein like beans, lentils, hemp, nuts, and seeds. And on that note, that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you again to Built Bar for sponsoring this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it the thumbs up. Leave me a comment below on who you'd like to see me review next. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye! And for more great videos like this, check out the link right here.